Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to The Better Off Wet. I am your yoga teacher, Courtenay Porter, and today's class is going to be a 30-minute beginner's vinyasa flow. So we are going to rein it in. We're going to pull it back. The sequence is going to be a little bit simpler. Not to say that you won't feel a stretch, not to say that you won't feel challenged. It just will be a less complicated sequence, giving us an opportunity to drop into postures and refine. And so whether it's the first time you've taken yoga or whether you have an established practice, there are benefits to this. Please don't think that just because it's beginner doesn't mean that is necessarily easy and without benefit. So without much ado, let's go ahead and stand up, and we're going to start in Tadasana. And so every once in a while, you're going to see me turning my body. I'll let you know when you need to turn. For you, you're probably going to look at the front of your mat, but I'm going to look at the camera. And we're going to start with our feet together. I like big toes together, and for me, my heels are apart. That's my natural stance. If your heels come together, by all means, stand with your heels together. But we're going to stand tall, arms are at our sides, and we're going to turn. We're going to rotate those palms forward, allowing the shoulders to drop back. And we're just going to take an inhale here. And exhale. And we're going to do a few more breaths. And when you inhale, I want you to feel your sternum, the center of your chest, lift. And then as you exhale, I want you to feel your shoulder blades slide down the back. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale. Good. From here, we're going to reach our arms up and overhead. And I want you to let your shoulders relax here. Sometimes we want to shrug the shoulders up. Let's let the shoulders relax down. Taking a big breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to start to hinge at the hips and slowly swan dive all the way down to a forward folding bend. Good. So let the head drop here. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to reverse that swan dive. Come all the way up, up, up. Hands meet, shoulders relax. And then we're going to exhale back down again, forward folding bend, hinging at the hips, taking our time. There's no need to rush. Let the head drop. And then inhale, reverse all the way up. Good, shoulders relax. Last time, we're going to exhale slowly all the way down to our forward folding bend, Uttanasana. Good. And then I'm going to turn. You can stay as you are. I'm going to bring my feet about hips width apart, which is generally 2 fists. So a lot of people think hips width. Nah, it's about 2 fists. So I'm in my forward folding bend. My feet are hips width apart. And then I'm going to start to inhale, and I'm going to lift my back up halfway only. So as I inhale, I'm going to start to look forward, bring my hands to my shins, extend my spine. Create a tabletop with my back. And then exhale all the way back down. Let the head drop. Good. Inhale, come up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, slide the hands down. Pull the belly in, let the head drop. Beautiful. Once more, inhale, come up halfway. Looking at the ground. Exhale, slide the hands down. Find that forward folding bend. From here, you're going to bring your hands to the mat. You can bend your knees. The legs don't ever have to be straight. And you're going to go ahead and step back to a plank first. And then from our plank, we're going to bring our knees down to the mat. Now with control, we're going to look forward, we're going to move our chest forward, and we're going to bend our elbows, keeping the elbows just brushing the ribs as we lower all the way down onto our bellies. Beautiful. Good, so for you, your forehead is going to be on the mat. I've got a microphone in front of my face, so I'm going to kind of hover here. But your palms are on the mat directly underneath your shoulders. Your toes are flat. Roll the shoulders back, and then start to press into the palms. We're going to come up into Cobra. So you'll see that the elbows are against the ribs, and the hips are still on the mat. It doesn't have to be very high. And I don't want you up here sinking into it. I want those arms engaged. Good. Exhale down. This time I'm going to bring my arms out wide in a T shape, and I'm coming up onto my fingertips, rolling the shoulders back. I'm going to start to press up into this form of cobra called exalted cobra. And so you may like this version better. You may not like it as much. Come all the way down. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders once more. Let's do one more cobra, just like the first one that we did. Roll the shoulders back. Start to press the chest up. Good. Come all the way back down to the mat. You're going to start to press yourself back up to plank on knees. So pressing our chest and our belly off the mat. We're on our hands and our knees. Curl the toes under. Press the hips up and back. I want you to keep the knees bent though. So we have lifted the hips. We're pressing into our palms, all of our knuckles. We're letting our shoulders relax. And if you're not sure if they're relaxing or not, try shrugging your shoulders and then just let them drop down. You can go ahead and shake your head, yes and no here, whatever feels right. But those knees are staying bent. Good. And so start to draw on your belly button, and I want you to lift your hips while the knees stay bent. Let that head relax. Now, if you like, you can start to straighten the legs, letting the heels drop. So you'll notice that my heels do not touch the mat. My heels rarely touch the mat. So don't feel that you have to have the heels touching the mat to be successful in this posture, which is called down dog. You can go your entire life with your heels never touching. Good. So your shoulders might start to be getting a little bit tired here. What you can do is bring in your feet a little bit closer to balance out the weight between hands and feet more. It'll give you some relief. It won't take it all out though. Good. And then from down dog, I want you to start to walk your feet towards your hands at the top of the mat. And so if you're here with bent knees, but you got your hands and the feet at the top of the mat, and just let your head drop. Good. Now we're going to start to walk our feet back to that down dog position. And you can go to bent knee or straight leg, whatever your little heart desires here. Now we're very carefully going to start to bend our knees, bringing them towards the mat, taking our time. And then once the knees touch the mat, if you need to adjust to make sure that your shoulders are over your elbows, over your wrists. Good. So our tabletop position, we're going to do cat-cow. So to do cat-cow, as we inhale, we're going to drop our belly, lift our tailbone, lift our chest, lift our chin. And then as we exhale, I want you to start to push the mat away, pull the belly button towards the spine, pull the chin towards the chest, tuck the tailbone, and really push the mat away. Good. Let's go through another round, nice and slow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, push the mat away, chin towards the chest. Let's do one more. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, chin, shoulders back. Exhale, push the mat away. Beautiful. Really feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. And then go ahead and come back to neutral spine. We're going to inhale our right arm up to the sky, so there's a little bit of a twist. And then as we exhale, that right arm is going to come down, and it's going to come between your left hand and your left leg, and you're going to start to slowly lower the shoulder, the right ear, all the way down to the mat. So I'll turn so you can see. And so we're just resting here, and if it's a bit much, you can use this left hand to help prop you up a little bit so you're not putting so much weight into that shoulder. But if you don't mind it, you can relax more into it. Perfect. Start to slowly push into that left hand, slowly bringing yourself back up to that tabletop position. I'm going to turn. You can stay where you are. And we're going to go to the opposite side now. Inhale, the left arm's going to reach for the sky. And then as we exhale, the left arm's going to come down between the right arm and the right leg as you slide that left shoulder, left ear down to the mat, using that right hand to prop yourself however much you need it here. And just so you know, from day to day, how your neck and shoulders are going to feel in this are going to vary. Really, your whole yoga practice is going to feel different from day to day. Press into that right hand. Start to bring yourself back up to that tabletop position. Good. This time, walk the hands slightly forward of the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Press the hips up and back into down dog. Straight legs or bent knees, whatever you're feeling. No obligation to choose one or the other. You just go wherever your body's feeling. From down dog, I want you to start to step your right foot forward towards your right hand. Now, in the beginning, you might be here. That's where I was started. So you can just grab that foot and pull it forward. You obviously don't want to pull forward so much that you're injuring yourself. But if you know you have more of a length in your lunge, just go ahead and grab that foot and bring it forward. So that back left foot, right now I'm on the balls of my feet. I want you to turn that back left foot flat. And I'm looking at my right heel lining up with my left heel. Go ahead and bring your hands to the top of your right thigh. Push yourself all the way up. So I'm going to turn so you can see, you can stay where you are. But my right leg is forward, my left leg is back. Now what happens is our hips want to open up this direction. We're going to think about squaring off our hips with the short edge of the front of the mat. In the beginning, you might not have as much. So don't worry about it having perfectly squared off. Just if you're thinking about creating that rotation, over time, it will lengthen and it will meet with you. So arms are up and overhead, shoulders relax. This is warrior one. Good. Think about that back left foot. You want to be sure that all four corners of the back left foot are on the mat. And then go ahead and bring the hands back down to the mat. Step that right foot back to meet the left. And we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to step that left foot forward. Remember, you can always grab it. And then we're going to turn that back right foot flat. We're going to look and see that our left heel is lined up with our right heel, so we have a little bit of a wider stance. Bring our hands to our left thigh. Start to bring ourselves upright. Think about that rotation of the hips rotating towards the short edge of the mat, and then arms up and overhead. Good. So to keep adding onto this, think about knitting the ribs in so that the ribs stay above the hips. There's a lot going on, so it can be frustrating when you have 1,000 different instructions coming at you. Just pick one and stick with that. Hands come down to the mat. Go ahead and step back to down dog. We're going to keep building on this. I'll stay actually over here. Go ahead now. We're going to step that right foot forward once more. We're going to turn the left foot flat. Stay down low with me. Now I'm lining up my right heel with my left arch here. So it's a narrower stance. I'm going to bring my hands to my right thigh, start to bring myself upright. So this time we're turning our shoulders and hips to line up with the long edge of the mat. So everything is long this way. We're going to reach our left arm back, right arm forward. Now remember, you want to keep that right knee bent. And you can look down, and if you can see your right toe on the inside of that right knee, you're great. If you can't, it just means you have tight hips and that knee's collapsing in. So think about rolling that knee out. And it might make it harder right away, but that's kind of what we're going for. Good. We're going to start to bring both hands down to the mat. Step back, down dog once more. You stay where you are. I switch. All right, this time left foot steps forward towards the left hand. Right foot spins flat. And take a moment to line up that left heel with the right inner arch. Hands come to the left thigh, start to come up. Turn towards the long edge of your mat. Reach the right arm back, left arm forward. Keep that left knee bent. And just take a peek. See if you can see that left big toe hanging out on the inside of the knee. This is warrior 2. Good. Bring both hands down to the mat. Step back, down dog. Good. So we're going to level that up one little notch, and we're going to combine them. So from our down dog, I'll switch sides. From our down dog, step the right foot forward, left foot spins flat. Make sure that you have that heel alignment. Press into the right foot as you bring your arms all the way up and overhead. Warrior 1. Think about pulling the right hip back and pushing the left hip forward. Take a big breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to reach the right arm forward, left arm back, turning to our warrior 2. So I've got time to heel toe my right foot so that the right heel lines up with the left arch. If you're comfortable where you are, no requirement to do it. Keep sinking into the lunge. Good. Both hands come down to the mat. Step back, down dog. We're going to switch sides. Step that left foot forward. Right foot spins flat. Take that moment to see if the heels are aligned. Press into the left foot to bring the arms all the way up and overhead. Left knee is bent. Right leg is straight. Rotating hips and shoulders forward. And again, it's okay if you're not perfectly squared off. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Left arm reaches forward. Right arm reaches back. I'm going to walk that foot. You don't have to. And we're finding our warrior 2. And so resist the urge to let the arms sag here. You really want energy all the way through to the fingertips, and you really want to sink into that left lunge. I know the thigh's talking. I get it. I feel it too. Good. Both hands come down to the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Down dog. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, walk the feet forward towards the hands. Find yourself in a forward folding bend here for just a moment. Let the head drop. And then bring your hands to your shins as you inhale. Come up halfway. Remember, we did this in the beginning of class. Exhale, slide the hands all the way down. Drop the head. And then we're going to reverse swan dive. Inhaling all the way up, up, up. Hands meet. Exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Find yourself standing at the top of the mat. From here, the right leg is going to step back. And we're going to parallel our feet here. So we have this wide-legged stance. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll the shoulders back. Look up, inhale. Exhale, we're going to lead out with the chin and the chest, keeping the hands on the hips as the hips hinge. And then as the head starts to drop, we're going to bring our hands down to the mat and let our head drop. So here's this really nice opportunity that you can make your feet go wider, or you can bring your feet narrower, just depending upon what kind of stretch you're looking for, what feels right in your body today. And then once you find how wide you want your feet, I want you to think about bringing the hips forward so that the hips line up with the ankles. It's going to be hard for you to see, but you'll feel when you get there, because it's going to feel a little bit like you're going to roll forward into a somersault, but you're using your strong legs to prevent that. And you've got your hands too, so don't be afraid to support yourself, but feel a little bit like you're going to tip forward. Good. And then inhale, look forward. Put a little bend in the knees. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, pull yourself all the way up. Beautiful. And then we're going to come down to a seated position on the mat. I'm going to be at an angle for you to see. You can be lengthwise on your mat. So legs are nice and long. And in this case, we've got our legs together. So my feet are flexed, and I'm pressing my legs into the mat. I'm going to bring my arms up and overhead. And then as I exhale, I want to start by pulling in my belly button and start to lead myself out using my abdominal muscles. Good. And then eventually hands can come down to either sides of your legs. Don't be so focused on reaching the toes. That's not the ultimate goal when you're trying to learn yoga and find flexibility. That if you're so stuck on that, you're actually going to kind of hinder yourself along the way. So just think about being nice and long and tall and coming out over the legs. And you'll very likely already feel a stretch in the backs of the thighs, maybe even the calves. Good. And then start to walk the hands back towards the body. I like to lean into my hands and give the legs a little shake. So we're going to reverse that posture. We're going to bend our knees. Our feet are hips width apart. Our hands are going to be behind us with our fingertips facing forward. And I'm going to start with my chin on my chest. And we're going to do reverse tabletop. So you're going to start to press into your feet to lift your hips up off the mat. Good. Now you can keep your chin on your chest, or you're always welcome to let the head fall back. But if your head falls back and you're like, nope, just bring the chin back to the chest. Good. Lower the hips all the way down, nice and slow. Come off the hands, give that a shake, give the legs a shake if they need it. Okay. Bend your right knee. So sole of the right foot comes to the inside of the left leg. And then we're going to, that sternum, that center line of our chest, we're going to rotate it so it lines up with the left leg. We're going to look at the toes, arms up and overhead. And then, like our first posture when we were seated, we're going to start to come out and over, and eventually let the hands rest. So I want you to think about the crown of your head moving towards the toes, the nose moving towards the knee, but always with length. So not forcing and curling down, although you'll get some stretch there. It's just not the stretch we're seeking here. Find that length first through the spine. Good. Walk the hands back towards the body. Lean into them. I like to straighten the right leg, give them a shake. I'll turn so you can see. So this time the left knee bends, sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg. I'm going to line up the sternum with the right leg, arms up and overhead, and then come out and over, nice and slow, nice and easy. And then eventually let the hands rest and continue to extend out over the leg with as long and straight of a spine as possible. And if that means bending your knee, it means bending your knee. Long spine. Good. Start to walk the hands back towards the body. And you're going to, if you're on your mat still, you're going to make sure that there's space for your head to land. You're going to bend your knees, and you're going to just hook your hands under your knees and roll down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow and easy. And we're going to find a little figure 4 here. So you're going to hook your right ankle to your left knee, and then you can pull the left knee towards you, and you have options of interlacing the fingers and grabbing the shin, interlacing the fingers, grabbing through that figure 4 and outside the left leg to grab behind the left knee. But I want you to think about your right foot staying flexed, and you can even use your right elbow to push that knee away to create a little bit more of a stretch. Good, and then you're going to go ahead and release. Bring the left foot back down to the mat. Bring the right foot back down to the mat. Bring both knees together. Arms come out in a T shape. Both knees are going to drop over to the left-hand side, and you're going to turn your head over the right shoulder. Bring your gaze back up to center. Bring your knees back up to center. This time hook the left ankle on the right knee. Reach through either behind the knee or around the shin. Left foot is flexed. I'm using my left elbow to push the left knee out. Figure 4 on the opposite side. Good. Release. Right foot comes down to the mat. Left foot comes down to the mat. Bring your knees together. Arms in a T shape. Both knees fall over to the right. Option to turn your gaze over the left shoulder. Gaze comes up to center, knees come back up to center. You can hug your knees to your chest for a last little squeeze, a last little bit of love. Good, and then go ahead and let the legs come down long. Arms come to your sides. Just start to seek out which muscles are gripping and relax them with each exhale. Dropping into a quick moment of rest, a quick moment of shavasana to really set in the benefits of our practice. And you are welcome to stay here, or if you're coming with me, you're going to start to turn onto your side. You're going to start to slowly press yourself up to a seated position, sitting tall. Eyes can be open or closed, hands can be on the knees in the lap. Just taking a moment to take stock of how you feel, if you feel differently, if you don't. No judgment of what you feel, just observing and taking note. And then go ahead and bring your hand to heart center. Take a big inhale. Hold the breath at the top. Lower chin to chest, sealing in your breath. Lift the chin, exhale, let it go. Blink the eyes open, hands come to the knees. Thank you very much. So yes, a very simple but effective 30-minute beginner class. Use this anytime you're needing a refresher or needing to get back into your body. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, drop a note if you like this or if there's something more that you want. We will continue to build on the sequence each week. So meaning next week is going to be this, but we're going to add a little bit more. So we'll all progress together. With that being said, go forth and be awesome. Thanks. Bye.